Welcome to the Fortinus Events podcast series, where we engage in dynamic conversations with the pioneers, experts, and changemakers driving progress across industries. In each episode, we explore how cutting-edge innovations, strategic approaches, and emerging trends are reshaping the future of businesses.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second podcast for the second annual CX Global Summit Philippines 2025 happening 3rd and 4th April. Today with us, we have Kathy Santamaria. Kathy is a seasoned marketing professional with over 30 years of experience and is currently Chief Marketing Officer and Chief Customer Officer as well at the Bank of the Philippine Islands, also known as BPI. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. Would you like to give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Hi, Jerwin. Nice to be
Hi.
on your channel.
Thank you so much.
So for everyone listening, I'm Kathy Santamaria. I'm the Chief Customer and Marketing Officer of BPI, Bank of the Philippine Islands. In my role, I've always been a very strong marketer person focused on building brands.
Yeah.
And in 2021, we said that we need to transform the bank, and very critical for us is to identify the customer experience, which is key to us in the marketing people. And therefore, two roles were rolled into one, which is the Chief Customer and Marketing Officer of the bank. So I've been doing this for a few years now.
Understood.
Very exciting because customer experience is the new way of the world.
Thank you for that brief introduction about yourself. So we'd like to know what is BPI's role in CX? Give us a brief look into how BPI is enhancing customer experience and the key areas of focus this year, 2025.
Okay. Customer experience, when we started our journey, was really to make sure that we are able to give the customers the experience that they think they deserve, or that we would like them to experience with us as a bank. Banks are changing, and digitalization is now a very big thing and a key focus of the bank. So as you transform into this new world, and as you get new customers like the Gen Zs and, the Gen Alphas are coming in, we wanted to make sure that the experience becomes seamless from one channel to another, because as a traditional bank, we're so used to branches. But in 2021, the direction was, let's go digital. And that's the use of our mobile app, our online capabilities. We've been working on this since 2017. But because of the pandemic, the seamless experience was critical for us. So our focus for 2025 is further leveling up I'd say experience manage, how we improve the experience of our customers. The great thing is, since the time we started in 2021 to where we are today, our Net Promoter Score has moved from number 4 to number 1.
Wow.
So the things that we're doing have really been strong for the bank.
Well, that's very impressive. Very nice. And I'm sure you're very proud of that. Next up, the future of AI in CX. How is AI reshaping the customer experience landscape, and what major trends do you personally foresee?
Well, I guess very critical to all of us is understanding how to make the customer journey maps. Because if you're able to do the customer journey mapping, you will see that the use of predictive analytics and sentiment analysis are key for us to addressing how we can maximize AI. I believe AI is a tool that is used, that helps humans more than it taking over what we do. The beauty of AI, though, is that it can boost and do things in a more automated way and make it faster. But the basic thinking still comes from us, I think, in terms of humans thinking of it. Now, the ease in doing things, the Gen Zs, they grew up with mobile phones. They grew up with technology, and they grew up with self-service. So the trends that I foresee is that although it will be about self-service, what is the right balance between self-service and face-to-face experiences? And how do you make sure that multi-moments, okay? Multi-moments and through multi-channels happens in a very seamless way. And when we talk about personalization, hyper-personalization will be critical as we develop. It's like already happening to a market of one. Versus before, you look for heterogeneous, you look for homogeneous groups, and then you're able to make your marketing plans. This time, it's like, really now, how do you go into a market of one? And that will be through hyper-personalization. Those little tweaks that you do will be critical in addressing that relationship with the customer.
Okay, I understand. And I understand based on what you're saying, AI will definitely not take over us humans, but only help enhance the experience and help and aid us through it. Yeah?
Right, Jerwin. It is a very important tool. And it will be able to make things easier for us and actually highly automated and intelligent. But for it to be intelligent, you still need to put in what are the things that you need or what are the things that will make us understand the customer better. So as you do machine learning, it's like what they say, it's the machine already thinking for you, but you still need to put the inputs for the machine to learn. What does it really have?
Correct.
So they talk about Chat GPT, but remember what they see is everything on the net, whereas you are now talking about your customer base. And so it's very important that the intelligence, the experience comes from what we experience as humans. And then the machine will now do the machine learning to identify what are the different kinds of experiences across different sets of people. Because there are sets of people who might want similar services. How do you do that across a multitude of them in different sets with little tweaks? And I think that's how AI is going to help us. It's just like doing creative work where when we do our CRM mails, where our subject lines changes, wherein now we have like always more than 10 or 15 headlines or subject lines.
Yeah.
Why? Because it differs per person on who will click that email, who will read that SMS. And this becomes very important in the customer experience because your messages and how you write it has to be relevant to the one reading the message.
Personalization.
Yes.
Okay, understood. Very nice and well said, I believe. Yeah, and evolving customer expectations. What shifts are you seeing in customer behavior and how is BPI adapting to that?
Well, we see the Gen Zs coming into the fold, right?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
because they expect everything easy and instant, we at BPI are very serious with our digitalization, where now we have, I'd like to say, the number one mobile app, where we have our functionalities are being updated every 2-3 weeks to make sure that we give the experience and the functionalities that are needed by our customers. I call it self-service with a twist,
Okay.
Jerwin.
Okay.
Why? Because if they can do it on their phones or they can do it in their homes, it will be done so easily. But there are things like in banking where you need face-to-face or a person to talk to. And I think that's the twist. At what time or at what is the precise moment that you will be able to speak to this Gen Z or this young new type of customer and be able to reach out and still be able to offer all the services and solutions that we have for banking. So it would be that everything is easy in your fingertips, but they will always need someone to talk to for certain requirements. Now, how do you do that? So you can't have everything on self-service. You have to select those services that can be easily solved. But when they need someone to talk to, we should be there. So that's my twist. It's not just leaving it all to AI or self-service, but making sure that at that moment that they need us and that thing that they see is critical to have us, we are there and we will be able to speak to them.
Meaning we'd always have to be there, would you say?
Yes, we should be there. And at those I call it the wow moments.
Okay.
What are those
Explain.
critical moments?
Yep.
And at the moment of truth, are you there? And when you are there, do you give the wow experience?
Wow, I
That's
like
how
that.
we think about it.
I like that a lot. And key takeaways for business leaders, for example, watching this podcast, tuning in from wherever they are across the world, what should companies prioritize when building a customer-centric strategy?
Well, what became very important to us is we have this delight circle. So we always think of the customer. Of course, they're the most important and the most critical in everything that we do. But the employees, our coworkers, our colleagues are just as important. So if you're developing a customer-centric strategy, you must be able to see that you're not just making it easier for the customer and giving them the experience that they want, but your employees are actually your ambassadors. So a key strategy is how to make sure that your processes inside are also easy, collaborative, empowering for your employees. So don't just look at the customer experience. You must also look at the employee journey. So if you're developing customer journey maps, you must have employee journey maps. I believe our success at BPI is because we developed our programs not just thinking of the customer, but aligning our employee experience so that they will be happy and delighted to actually work with the customer and give that delightful experience, because internally, they themselves are having that delightful experience. So key to the strategy, not just the customer journey maps, or all these agile and, making design thinking work. But on the employee side, how do you make sure we make them ambassadors of our brand? And how do you make sure that their journey internally is also addressed? So that would be, to me, the key takeaway of what made us successful in our journey on customer centricity at BPI.
Understood, Kathy. I think you explained that and laid that out very well, and it's rather easy to understand. And I think main thing is the balance between taking care of customers and your own employees as well. And then, of course, blooming from there.
Yeah, because, at the end, your employees are delighted, your customers are delighted, then your stakeholders, shareholders are delighted because you just end up having customers do repeat usage, repeat purchase, and leads to better profit. And maybe that's why we at BPI just had an excellent year in 2024.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah.
Last but not least, just wanted to throw in a bit of a light-hearted, fun question. If BPI's CX strategy was a superhero, what would its superpower be?
Well, I've been thinking about this.
Okay.
I think it should be
I'm excited to hear.
telepathic. Having telepathic abilities like
Wow, okay.
Martian the Manhunter, or thinking about Professor X.
Yep.
Why? Because we're able to control the mind, read the mind. So can you imagine how great it will be if I can read your mind, Jerwin, if you're hungry or, you're about to go to the bank and you're thinking of, you have something in your mind and I can understand what you're thinking. So when you enter the branch, I automatically say, hey, Jerwin, were you thinking about this? And you say, oh, how did you know that?
Before I can even see it.
Yeah. So with that telepathy, I will be able to give you the experience that you're actually thinking about.
Yep.
And then when you're asking me questions, I can read through your mind because you're like, I wonder how to do this. And I can say, oh, by the way, you can also do this and this and this. And you'll just say, oh my gosh, this is the most delightful experience that I can do.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, my superpower. That if I can read the minds of our customers, I will be able to give them the best experience and experiences that are relevant to them. I think, Jerwin, because not everyone expects the same thing. You have customers that might be easier to deal with. You have customers that, have higher expectations or maybe more complex needs. Yeah. And if I have this telepathic capability, every time you enter my branch or just talk to me through digital or in our chatbot, we have Bea as our chatbot, I will be able to already foresee or foretell what exactly you want. So I will be responding to you in the most relevant manner. And I think that's the most important, because responding to customer at the right time, with the right offer, with the most relevant expectation and the most relevant solutions would just make my customers so delighted and leave our branches or maybe even our phones or our self-service with
Yeah.
that big smile saying, this is the most delightful experience. And it's BPI.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do.
Wow, very nice. I like that. And even like me trying to look from a customer's point of view, I think that'll be great. Maybe the things that I'd like to bring up is a bit complex, for example. And if you can already read my mind and just say it for me before I even have to, then I'd be so delighted. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's a very fair answer. That's all for now, Kathy. We've enjoyed like having you on board with us. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jerwin. And to all those watching, I hope you join us on April 3 and 4 when we do the CX conference and we can learn from each other. I think the experience, building a customer experience is also learning from each other. So if we
Yeah,
all attend that
definitely.
session, we will be able to learn from each other's experiences and build on that.
Yep. Thank you so much, Kathy, and on
You're
behalf of
welcome.
Fortinus Events as well.
Okay. See you
See
soon,
ya.
Jerwin.
All
Thanks
right.
to
See you, Kathy.
everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.
If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and stay tuned to more exciting episodes featuring industry leaders from around the globe. Until next time, stay curious and keep innovating.